Evening all, my name is Folly Melancholy. Welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be doing a witchy video thing, which I've been like meaning to do for ages. I even got my little witchy hat on, but you can't really see it. Oh god, it's very dusty. Yeah, you can't really see it in here, but it still looks good. So I'm going to talk about the Book of Shadows and Grimoire. Now, a lot of people may be familiar with the terms, and a lot of people may interchange them a lot, but they are two separate things. Like I have an example of one here. This is my Book of Shadows. I have only recently just started putting stuff in it, so it is still kind of empty. But yeah, Book of Shadows is mostly a pagan and Wiccan thing, although I'm sure some other paths do have their own version. I'm just not familiar with that. Some consider the Book of Shadows to be a sacred tool, like an athame or chalice. So some people will cleanse their Books of Shadows when they use them, if they use them in rituals and things. I don't really cleanse mine, I just dust it off when I pick it up. I think that counts. But a Book of Shadows is traditionally used for writing down your traditions. If you're part of a coven, you would write your coven's rules in there. If you're Wiccan, you'll probably write the Wiccan Rede in there. It's basically for stuff that is related to your path and witchcraft in general. And there are going to be some out there that say that it has to be handwritten, but it doesn't have to be handwritten. You can print stuff out to stick in it, or you can even have a digital one, like on your phone or on a laptop or a tablet or something like that. I have started to hand write mine, but mostly because I don't have access to a printer, so I don't really have a choice. But yeah, my handwriting is terrible. It's so bad I don't even think you can see it clearly on there, but that's fine. Yeah, and there's actually quite a lot of stuff you can put in here. Stuff to do with herbs, and like I said before, tarot. I have a separate book for that I've completely forgotten about. Sorry. And the Wheel of the Year, if you follow that, which is what I've got here. The dates are going to differ depending on where you live, because the dates for everything are different to the northern and the southern hemisphere, which I didn't actually know, so that was quite interesting. And for example, some people count I'm going to pronounce this wrong and I am sorry to everybody from Ireland, but Samhain? I hope that's right. Some people will count it on November 1st, some people count it on the 31st, some people count it as both. Yeah, it really depends on what you count in your practice. Now, a grimoire, I sort of have an example of that, but I sort of don't. There is a video way back on my channel where I do talk about my grimoire, but I've decided to change which book I'm using because I don't like the layout of that book, so I don't actually have an example to show at the minute. But a grimoire is traditionally like a spell book. That's where you write down your spell work, your your rituals, divination, things like that. And the word grimoire is actually of European origin, although other cultures do have their version of grimoires that have been around just as long and longer. For example, the first grimoires can be traced back to Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, ancient Greece. You get the idea. The concept is pretty old. And obviously, if you're into fantasy stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, or you like fantasy stuff on the telly, you've probably heard of the word grimoire, even though it is quite a bastardization what a lot of TV programs have done to it. Because in TV and movies, there's usually something called the Grand Grimoire, which is like a book of forbidden and dark magic. And yeah, don't get me started on how inaccurate a lot of that is. I could be here forever. One of the most notable fantasy grimoires is the Necronomicon by H.P. Lovecraft. So yes, some people will like to keep a Book of Shadows and a Grimoire separate, like I'm doing. Sometimes they may like merge. Merge. Points if you get that reference. Some people will combine the books, and some people will just not have one, which is fine. You know, it's not a hard and fast rule of witchcraft. You don't have to have a Book of Shadows, you don't have to have a Grimoire, and anything can be a Book of Shadows or a Grimoire. Like, for example, I got this from my mum's shop when she had a shop. It is handmade. I think this was handmade in Nepal. So it felt right to use this for something special. My grimoire that I'm going to be writing in is something that I picked up, I think, from Smith's. I could be completely wrong there, but yeah, it was like £3 from Smith's. But it was Lord of the Rings themed, so I picked it up because, you know, I like Lord of the Rings. And it's like about, like, you can, yeah, it's probably about this big, so there's like a lot of room for me to mess up and cover stuff over, which is going to be fun. As I fill this up, I will be showing some of it, not all of it, obviously, and when it comes to my grimoire, again, I will show some of it, but not all of it, because there are some things that are going to have to remain only known to me, unfortunately. So, yeah, this is quite a fun one. Actually, I think if I do like more witchy ones in future, I might like wear my little hat just to make it easier for me to like distinguish, especially if I get like a backlot of videos. So if you guys have any like witchy questions or like topics you want me to cover, then let me know in the comments. Hey, enjoyed that. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one.